Hello, we are live. What's happening? मेरी आवाज आ रही है? You're able to see me right now? You able to hear me? Yeah? Oh no, you're not able to see me. Hold on. Yeah, now you should be able to see me. सब ठीक है? Yeah? How you all doing this amazing Thursday evening? Hey Deepanvita, good evening. How you doing? What's up, Vinod? Is he still around? काफी जल्दी आया था Vinod, I think. It was about like 6:30. Anyway, what's happening? We are on the fifth session of. Hey Anish, what's up? आवाज आ रही है, right? Just like tell me if you can hear me and see me clearly. Audible. Let me put that out here. Audible slash visible. Yeah. What's up? What's up? Hey, Arun, Poonam, how you doing? We're going to do the fifth session of ionic equilibrium. Yeah, long way. So five of these and how many? Three or four of chemical. काफी ज्यादा हम लोग equilibrium कर चुके हैं. बस एक और सेशन इसके बाद बाकी है. Hang around, okay? There's this amazing equation over here and many other fun things. We'll look at them. Okay, let's get started right now. Okay, everything's good. Okay, cool. Homework questions. What is the first homework question? Mayuk and Poonam both think that the answer was option B. We'll go over this one. Calculate the pH of 0.2 molar aqueous solution of sodium butyrate. Given Ka of butyric acid is 2 into 10 power minus 5. What's up, Arun? How you doing? Hey, Sham. What's up? You're welcome. Here, check it out. We're doing ionic equilibrium. We're revising what we did in the last session. एक दो homework questions and after that we're going to look at buffers and all of that. ठीक है? इस सवाल को कैसे करते हैं? Well, go right through it. Okay. So if I take this, ये थोड़ा scary लग रहा है. Sodium butyrate, butyric acid. Take it as Ha and sodium butyrate is basically Na plus and A minus, whatever that A minus may be. ठीक है? So I can write this whole expression as the main thing is that this is a salt of a what? A weak acid and a strong base. यानी कि उसका जो anion है that will undergo hydrolysis. That's the key idea here. And that's the expression that I've written right on top of my head. Now, there is a chance that you may, in a hurry, do something else. We'll explore that something else in a bit. पहले let's go directly, not using any formula, हम लोग directly first principle तक कर रहे हैं. ठीक है? So A minus C concentration is given to be 0.2 molar, जो मैंने यहाँ पे लिख दिया है. ठीक है? This right here. Okay. And then the reaction reacts with water and X of it reacts. This is just chemical equilibrium idea and it forms X amounts of HA and OH minus. So from this, I can say that, okay, X square by 0.2 minus X is going to be equal to KB. How? This is behaving like a base, right? It's accepting H plus. So this is how A minus is behaving like a base. First principle again. But KB तो यहाँ दिया नहीं है. यहाँ पे Ka दिया है. It's all right. Conjugate acid base pair में Ka into Kb is equal to Kw. वही idea मैं यहाँ पे use कर रहा हूँ. देखो. And I'm also assuming that X is very, very much smaller than 0.2. Just using these two ideas, and you get X square as 10 power minus 10. Now remember, X is the concentration. X is the concentration of OH minus ions. So you get X to be 10 power minus 5, but pH नहीं जिससे निकलेगा, जिससे POH निकलेगा. Okay, so you get POH to be 5 and pH will be 14 minus 5, which is 9. And that's the answer. Yeah, POH is 5, so pH must be 9, which is B. Good job, Mayuk and Poonam. Excellent work. Now, what is that something else? Maybe आपको ionic से थोड़ा डर लगता है and you're not sure what to do. So in a hurry, maybe you just write this expression. You say कि HA giving you H plus plus A minus. It's okay. Nothing is wrong here. Best thing about ionic equilibrium is कि math holds good either way. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. If I write this expression and I say यहाँ पे 0.2 है और ये x है और ये y है और I start with this, मैं भूल गया हूँ कि ये hydrolysis होता है whatever. Even if I do it like this, things get a little, कि कभी कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ है, because as it is, you see कि you have two variables, x into 0.2 divided by y is equal to Ka. Now Ka तो आपको मालूम है, 0.2 मालूम है, but x by y is something you don't know. Even if you solve it like this, थोड़ा time लगेगा, but you'll get to the same answer. Okay, x क्या है? H plus kind of concentration, which now you know is 10 power minus 9. Y क्या है? 10 power minus 4. Sorry, 10 power minus 5. इन दोनों को डिवाइड करो, you get 10 power minus 4, which is exactly Ka by 0.2. Is it that? Let's check it out. Ka by 0.2. Yeah, Ka is 2 into 10 power minus 10 minus 5 and divided by this 0.2 is going to be equal to 10 power minus 4. देखो, सेम चीज आई. तो आप ये तरीका, मेरा थोड़ा पीछे चल गया, सॉरी अबाउट दैट, बट इट्स अ लिटिल राउंड अबाउट, बट अगर आप कहीं अटक भी गए, मैथ्स विल ऑलवेज हेल्प यू. The best thing to do is to check out theory and be sure about it. But अगर अटक भी गए तो depend on the maths, it will help you. ठीक है? Anyway, तो ये छोड़ दो. I was just saying, if you lose your way, this is if you lose your way. It still works. It still works. That's what I want to tell you. Okay. Hi. What's up? Let me miss anything chat wise. Good evening. Hi. 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 Vishal. Yeah. Okay. No, you're not audible nor visible, Vishal. Funny guy. Biswajit. What's up? Hi, Vinod. Good. Welcome, Vinod. Suti. What's up? Good evening. Okay. ये सवाल समझ में आया? Any doubts on this? And there's a bit of text behind me, but that's okay. Don't worry. Nothing important. Okay. Great. Is this question okay? Right? The main thing to realize is obviously hydrolysis हो रहा है, but किसी कारण आप भूल भी गए, तभी if you do all of this, you will still figure it out. Okay? यहाँ पे यार दो वेरिएबल इसको सॉल्व कर नहीं सकते, you need more thing than अरे हाँ हाइड्रोलिसिस करना है. ठीक है? Cool. Next question. Consider the following salts. Which one, when dissolved in water, will produce an acidic solution? ठीक है? तो again salts के बारे में बात हो रही है, again hydrolysis की बात हो रही है, but this is more of an intuition thing. Okay? आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि पेरेंट एसिड और बेसिस कौन थे. तो मैं एक झटके में सब लिख देता हूँ. NH4Cl का पेरेंट, अरे मैं तो माइक पहनने हम भूल ही गए, जिसकी वजह से आवाज थोड़ी सी अजीब आ रही होगी. होल्ड ऑन, इट विल गेट बेटर इन लाइक 10 सेकंड्स. सॉरी, आई कीप फॉरगेटिंग दिस. ओके, एनीवे, हियर वी आर. मस्ट बी मच क्लियरर. सॉरी अबाउट दैट. खैर, सो इसका जो है पेरेंट बेस और एसिड is NH4OH and HCl. This is a weak base and this is a strong acid. मतलब कि ओवरऑल, अरे यही लग रहा है आंसर है. या मयूक एंड पूनम आल्सो सेड दिस एसिडिक. दैट्स इट, दिस द आंसर. खैर, फिर भी सारे लिख देते हैं. दिस स्ट्रॉन्ग एसिड, दिस इज स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस, तो इसका हो जाएगा 7. ये क्या है? दिस इज स्ट्रॉन्ग, वेल दिस इज काइंड ऑफ वीक एक्चुअली, बट ठीक है. NaNO3, लेट्स से 7. ठीक है. लेट्स HNO2 is weak, HNO3 ठीक है, चलो स्ट्रॉन्ग बोल देते हैं. ओके, कूल. सो आंसर इज ए. गुड जॉब. Good job, guys. Vishal, Deepanvita, Biswajit, and Arun as well now. Excellent stuff. Let's talk about buffers now. Buffers are a fascinating thing, man. It's an extension of this whole common ion effect. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. They resist a change in pH. Okay, not by a lot, but ठीक है, they resist a change in pH. Imagine that. मैं किसी चीज में एसिड डालूं और वो एसिडिक ना हो, और बेस डालूं तो ज्यादा बेसिक भी ना हो. That's a beautiful thing. And in fact, in your body, there are a lot of these buffer solutions that keep the balance, so to speak. ठीक है. थोड़ा सा एसिड बेस ऐड करने पे चल जाता है. ठीक है. सो इट चेंजेस बट नॉट बाय अ लॉट, बट इट्स लेस देन द चेंज दैट वुड हैपन अगर बफर नहीं होता. तो अगर ये बंदा आपको लग रहा है रैंडम कुछ बोल रहा है, तो आई विल शो यू विद मैथ हाउ दैट वर्क्स. ओके, देयर आर टू काइंड्स ऑफ बफर, एसिडिक, बेसिक, एंड वेल दिस सॉल्ट बफर बिजनेस हम लोग उसको डिटेल में नहीं जाएंगे. ठीक है. एसिडिक एंड बेसिक बफर व्हाट वी विल टॉक अबाउट. सो व्हाट्स एन एसिडिक बफर? इट्स अ सॉल्यूशन ऑफ अ वीक एसिड and the salt of its conjugate base. अब ये क्या बला हो गई? What is this weak acid and salt of conjugate base? Look at this. ये है तुम्हारा weak acid और ये है इसका salt of conjugate base. कैसे? Let's go back to my nice yellow color. CH3COOH gives you this, right? I'm just going to write AC minus plus H. ठीक है? If this is your acid, HA, which is weak, and this is going to be a pretty strong base, comparatively speaking. खैर, तो ये दोनों, because they differ by H plus, they are a conjugate acid base pair. Okay. So if I combine both of them, something fascinating happens. There's a common ion effect for sure, but also another fascinating thing. But look at this. All of these are like this. There's a weak acid, salt of conjugate base. Weak acid, salt of conjugate base. Quick question. अगर सिर्फ इसका आधा हो, यानी कि या तो वीक एसिड या तो सॉल्ट हो, तो क्या होगा? यू नो फॉर श्योर, राइट? अगर वीक एसिड होगा तो पीएच होगा, ठीक है, लेस देन 7. अगर होगा सिर्फ ये, देन पीएच विल बी ग्रेटर देन 7, राइट? क्योंकि क्या है, यहां पे आयन होगा, हाइड्रोलिसिस. इज दिस पार्ट ऑल राइट? इफ यू हैव ओनली वीक एसिड और जस्ट द सॉल्ट ऑफ द कॉन्जुगेट बेस, देन वन ऑफ दीज टू सिचुएशन अराइज. मतलब पीएच या तो 7 से कम होगा या तो 7 से ज्यादा होगा. अब मिक्स करके क्या होगा? विल सी. In blood, absolutely. Pranam Amritesh ji. Pranam. Yeah, absolutely. Good job, Vishal. One step ahead of the crowd. Okay. Khair, hydrolysis of anion is what happens over here. ये मैंने यहाँ पे लिख दिया है. ठीक है. Now, for a weak electrolyte water, this happens. This is just a repetition of what we did in the last session. ठीक है. I'm not going to bug you with this. पानी में डालो, ये बनता है. ठीक है. Now, if I add to this a strong electrolyte, which is CH3CONA, then immediately it starts to hydrolyze. पानी के साथ वो रिएक्ट कर जाता है. ठीक है. Now, this is very interesting. I'm going to show and tell. Normally क्या होता है कि बहुत इक्वेशन दिखाते हैं. ठीक है, इक्वेशन दिखाएंगे, don't worry. But look at what actually happens. What I have is I'm adding HCl to this solution. Okay, what solution? I have the weak acid HCS3COH and the salt of its conjugate base. अब देखो HCl react कर रहा है, H plus ion react कर रहा है A minus के साथ, and look at that, this is A minus, okay, and this is HA. Did you see what happened? CSCCO minus का concentration कम हो गया, HA का concentration बढ़ गया, और H plus तो बदला ही नहीं, and that's the beautiful thing. Okay, this is practically what happens. कैसे? I'll write the equation down for you. You have HCl and in solution you have CH3COH and you have CH3CO minus. तो इसका जो H है वो इसके साथ रिएक्ट कर जाता है, ठीक है, causing this reaction to go and form HA. CH3CO चिल कर रहा है, ठीक है, that's why इसकी concentration हो जाती है कम. Let me use a nice red color to show कि इसकी कम हो रही है, and another color, maybe a green color to show कि इसकी concentration बढ़ रही है, which is what you see with this. H plus remains unaffected. ठीक है, this is how a buffer action works if I add an acid. What if I add a base? अगर मैंने base add किया तब क्या होगा? सोचो, base add किया, again now I have NaOH and I have same thing ACH, HAC और AC minus दोनों हैं, तो इसमें से OH minus ion किसके साथ रिएक्ट करेगा? इसके साथ. Yeah, look at that, it causes neutralization. Okay, say OH minus यहां पे आ गया और बनाएगा ये AC minus. So hence what will happen now is इसकी concentration बढ़ गई, इसकी concentration घट गई. Okay, and again it doesn't change the OH minus that's already there. Now when I say OH minus, you're like OH minus कहां से? अभी तो हम H plus की बात कर रहे हैं. देखो यार, पानी में both H plus and OH minus always coexist. Okay, it's the balance that is maintained. इसलिए मैंने यहाँ OH minus लिखा है. Technically I could also put H plus over here, right? I could also put some other value of H plus. It's the same thing. ठीक है, अगर OH minus से बदला obviously H plus भी नहीं बदलेगा. खैर, let's look at some math now. Okay, numbers, we'll put some numbers to it. It'll be easier to understand. तो HCO plus the acid from the acid basically reacts with this, forms more of this, इसलिए बन जाता है. pH value is more or less same. जो हमने देखा तो वही चीज हम लोग जो इक्वेशन लिख रहे हैं. OH minus reacts with HA, इसकी concentration कम करता है, इसकी concentration बढ़ाता है. Let me put that here also. इसकी concentration कम, इसकी concentration ज्यादा. Cool. All right. So basically, sorry, no pun intended. When you mix a weak acid and a solution of its salt with strong base, you get a buffer, acidic buffer. But you need to mix them in a particular ratio for this buffer thing to work. Okay, शांत हो गया काफी, शांत हो गया chat. Okay, लग रहा है भारी होगी चीजें. All right, ठीक है. So if I mix 1 mole of CSCCOH and 1 mole of CSCCONA, this is a buffer. Okay, as an example. What if I mix a weak acid and थोड़ा सा strong base solution? थोड़ा सा strong base solution डाल दिया मैंने. I have weak acid और थोड़ा strong base. What will a strong base do? It will neutralize some of that acid, है ना? अब हम लोग करते हैं funky चीजें, bro. This is volume of NaOH added, ठीक है? And ये है तुम्हारा pH. Say CH3COH is somewhere here. और ये part, look at this, where the pH doesn't change, this is the buffer part. ठीक है? क्यों? क्योंकि देखो जैसे मैं NaOH ऐड कर रहा हूं, what do I have in the burette? Or this is what is burette. What do I have in the conical flask? Titration हम के बाद हम लोग कर रहे हैं ना. This is weak acid. तो उसको न्यूट्रलाइज कर रहा है and right away it forms CH3CONA. Okay, एक ड्रॉप बूंद डालते जाओ, तब भी बन जाता है एसिडिक बफर. Isn't this very cool? Yes, मोहित, पहली बार तो एक्सप्लेन करने तो फिर से दूसरी बार करूंगा. Let me explain once ना पहले. Is this part all right? Yeah. When I add a strong acid, when I add a strong base to a weak acid, न्यूट्रलाइजेशन तो तब भी होगा, राइट? न्यूट्रलाइजेशन से क्या बनेगा? ये बनेगा, ठीक है? Say I have 1 mole of CH3COH, which is a weak acid, and a little bit of NaOH. तुरंत बन गया CH3CONA and तुरंत बन गया buffer solution. Keep adding more and more and more and more. So you see this section is the resisting change in pH. Okay, I am adding NaOH and it's resisting change in pH. So this is the buffer. This part of the graph is buffer. Yeah, this graph wala part, don't worry, is not in NEET. Okay, it's more related to maybe JEE main or advanced, but that doesn't matter. फिर भी मैं सोचा तुमको बता दूं आप लोगों को, क्योंकि this is really important. Like, how does this happen? Yeah, is this all right? You have any doubts in this? Mohit Rao, you're all right? You're doing okay? ठीक है? Okay. And I can also add a little bit more acid and all of that. फिर से ठीक है, मैंने ये ऐड किया. Now I have दिस गाय हियर, मैं उल्टा भी कर सकता हूं. आई हैव CH3CONA, मैंने थोड़ा एसिड ऐड कर दिया. नाउ इन दिस केस CH3CO माइनस Na प्लस है और HCl ऐड किया, तुरंत इसके साथ रिएक्ट करके इट फॉर्म्स CH3COH. सो नाउ अगेन बेसिकली whatever I do, ठीक है, if in the end, if the end result is HA and A minus, then I get a buffer. If it is A, if it is anything else, there is no buffer. Cool, Mohit Rao? Okay, good. अच्छा है, समझ में आ गया आपको. Good, good, good. You retracted me, so I hope you understood. ठीक है? The goal is that we want A minus and HA in solution by hook or by crook. आपको मैंने तीन चीजें बताई. It is not something for you to remember. Number 1, number 2, number 3, कुछ नहीं. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Look at what's in front of you and decide for yourself. ठीक है? Similarly, you can make basic buffer solutions. Now, in this case, cationic hydrolysis होगा. ठीक है? You take a base, salt of its conjugate acid. So here's the base, and here is conjugate acid ka salt. And there's the same case that goes in all of them. A quick question. What do you think the pH of this acidic buffer is going to be? Is it going to be, give me an answer, less than 7 or greater than 7? It's not 7, okay? It's not going to be equal to 7. I'll give you that off the bat. What is the pH going to be? Is it going to be less than 7 or greater than 7? दोस्तों, chat में मुझे please बताइए. Interactivity make sure that you're actually understanding everything. So please tell me. Okay, Mohit Rao saying greater than 7. ठीक है? What do the rest of you think? You remember, मैंने just अभी एक graph बनाया था. Okay? That graph is a hint as to what it should be. Mohit, do you want to tell me why you think it's going to be greater than 7? आप मुझे थोड़ा ये भी idea दोगे? Okay, Vishal is saying less than 7. See, the pH of the acid itself, the HA, that is going to be less than 7. Okay? और वो CH3CO minus डालने के बाद थोड़ा सा बढ़ जाता है. But it doesn't go over 7. ठीक है? If it goes over 7, then that means that it did not resist a change in pH. Think about it like this. Think about it like this. HA का pH क्या था? Less than 7. फिर मैंने उसमें थोड़ा थोड़ा NaOH डाला. It's resisting change in pH. मतलब कि वो 7 के ऊपर नहीं गया, वो मे बी 4 से 4.5 हो गया, 4 to 4.5 हो गया. But it won't go above 7. That's one way to internalize it. Okay? But with math, don't worry, we'll prove it also with math. ठीक है? Yeah? Mohit, don't worry. It's okay. Thank you for the response, Mohit. It was great of you to tell me what you're thinking. Okay? But this is how it works. Okay? So this pH is going to be less than 7. Okay? मैंने वो ग्राफ जो दिखाया था, if I want to put a number to it, ये जो ग्राफ का ये वाला पार्ट है, maybe this is 7. ठीक है? And इसके नीचे आएगा. Again, the graph is not in your syllabus. Don't worry about it. But if you want to know about it, more about it, ping me on IT Chem. I'll share resources. ठीक है? Awesome. ठीक है? Now the basic buffer again. अगर सिर्फ ये है, then pH is going to be less than 7. अगर सिर्फ ये है, तो pH is going to be greater than 7. Right? उन दोनों को mix करो क्या होगा? Greater than 7. Because now अब उल्टा हो रहा है. देखो. If I were to draw the graph in this case, exactly उल्टा हो रहा है. ठीक है? pH यहाँ पे है. It resists change and then it falls. So let me draw this better. Something like this. Okay, so this part is your buffer solution. Let's say if this is 7. What is the buffer here? Here now I'm adding what? I'm adding volume of, say, acid added, strong acid added. Okay, in this way. And what is in your conical flask? That has weak base. ये ग्राफ चीजें मैं एक्स्ट्रा बता रहा हूं यार, कहानी जरा सुन लो, टेंशन मत लो इसमें. The whole goal of this is to explain to you कि क्यों भाई, why is it that basic buffer has a pH greater than 7? Why does it that acidic buffer has a pH less than 8? I mean, sorry, less than 7. ठीक है? Cool. Anyway, same ideas यहाँ पे invert कर दो. Now I am mixing a weak base solution and a solution of its strong acid. ठीक है? Or I can take a weak base solution and I can add a little bit of strong acid to it. क्या होगा? Neutralize हो जाएगा. NH4OH and HCl will neutralize and form some NH4Cl. ये क्या हो गया? NH4Cl and let's say BH. I'm going to call it B plus and BH. दोनों आए हैं. ठीक है? A minus and HA, B plus and BH. Same चीज. So I want both the species in solution. Common ion होना चाहिए. That's the main thing. I can do weak base and थोड़ा सा strong base भी add कर सकता हूँ. और strong acid. तीनों चीज मैंने add कर दी. ठीक है? तो I've got the salt over here. Weak base and strong acid add किया तो salt बन गया. अब salt के बाद थोड़ा सा और base डाल दिया. What do I have in the end? Again I have BH and B plus. What is B plus? NH4 plus. That is the salt from the salt. Okay? And BH is the same as NH4OH. ठीक है? This is not BH, sorry, it's BOH. My bad. BH नहीं है. I was wondering कुछ तो गड़बड़ लिख दिया हमने. BOH. कहीं और BH लिखा था क्या? ठीक है. Cool. Okay? Salt buffer solution, not in your syllabus and all. दोनों ions hydrolyze होते हैं, right? what do you have here? You have HA say A minus and BOH say B plus. Now both of these react and form AB, so to speak. That's what's happening here. We won't talk about this, don't worry. Khair, quick question. Ab sab log uth jao. Will this solution act like a buffer? I have added CH3COH and NaOH 1:1 mole ratio. मतलब acid और base 1:1 mole ratio. क्या बनेगा? सोचो, बताओ chat में, yes or no. Give me a Y or an N. Is this Y or N? What am I going to fill over here? So let me talk you through this while you what we can do to overcome anxiety. बहुत भारी सवाल मोहित. भगवान का नाम यार. That's what I do. In all seriousness. Difficult question, I guess. Being when I teach Chem, meditation, spirituality, whatever helps. Deepanvita is saying no. Okay. Vishal is saying yes. So I've got one for no and one for yes. ठीक है. Let's see. देखो, what happens when you make these two things react? When you make both of these things react, what you have is CH3CONA. Now this is all. This is only the salt. There is no HA. Okay. So if there is A minus, yes. HA, no. What is your checklist? Your checklist is कि you need to have both of them. Okay. अगर एक है, then it's not a buffer. This is an H. Let me write that properly. कौन सा वाला है? अभी हमारे पास है A minus जो यहां से आया, but ये नहीं है. Hence, not a buffer. Okay? Hence, not a buffer. अरुण. Okay? क्यों buffer नहीं है? देखो यार, try it out if you want. Put acid in this, put base in this. Will this resist a change in pH? I don't think so. Try it out. Okay? Is this okay? By the way, इसका pH क्या होगा? What do you think इसका pH होगा? We've done this, right? Salt hydrolysis. इसका pH will be greater than 7. क्योंकि you've got a weak acid reacting with a strong base, parent acid, parent base concept, and pH must be greater than 7. Interestingly, वो जो मैंने आपको ग्राफ दिखाया था जिसके बारे में हम लोग बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, the graph that we're not talking about, that looks something like this. उसका जो end point है, if this is this is 7, the end point of the graph, which is this, this is the end point, is exactly this. यही है end point graph इस titration का, ठीक है? And this is not going to be a buffer. Okay, cool. What about this? CH3COH or plus NaOH? With this, is this going to be a buffer or not? पूछो यार. That's what you're going to do. What happens when you react CH3COH with NaOH? 2:1 mole ratio now. मतलब अब मैंने थोड़ा ज्यादा ले लिया. Now, in that same graph that I was doing, in this case, graph कहाँ है? यहाँ पे ये, right? NaOH और CH3COH, ठीक है. तो हम लोग इस ग्राफ में backwards पीछे ही जा रहे हैं. Let me do that again. Right? Here you've got the volume of NaOH added, and I've got some this thing. So if this was 1:2, this is the end point or equivalence point of this titration. अगर हमने और CH3COH डाला, मतलब we're going backwards, we're going somewhere over here, we're in this range. और ग्राफ से तो मुझे लग रहा है कि ये तो मुझे बफर बनेगा, just not by the graph. You want to prove this by some sort of a math, little bit of math? Sure, we can do that. अगर ये 2:1 ratio में है, तो मतलब 1:1 हो गया consume. Okay, so I take 2 mole and 1 mole. So this gives me 1 mole of NaA and 1 mole of HA remains. So look at that. Now you have 1 mole each of HA and A minus. There you go. ये तो buffer है, ये तो buffer है. Okay? This is a buffer. Okay? Excellent. Hey Medico, what's up? You're like our guest of honor. You come, say hi and you go. Is this okay? क्यों ये buffer है? इस पूरे buffer वाले section में, this is the most difficult kind of thing that's going to come because थोड़ा सोचना पड़ता है. Right? जो ones where you have to put a formula directly, वो थोड़ा आसान है. This, I feel a little tricky. That's why I'm taking my time to explain this to you guys. Taking my time to, yeah, absolutely, Arun. Brilliant. I'm doing great, Medico. How are you doing? Is this okay as to why this is a buffer? Acidic buffer. Okay. All right. What about this? What about this mole ratio of HA and यहाँ पे है strong acid, strong base right here. 1:2. Is this a buffer or not? Is this a buffer or not? What do you think? Now, take that graph again. Okay. If I do something like this, यही सेम चीज, NaOH का वॉल्यूम मैं ऐड कर रहा हूं, यहां पे है एंड पॉइंट, मतलब दिस इज 1:1. अगर मैं इसमें और NaOH डालूं तो क्या होगा? दिस ग्राफ गोज टुवर्ड्स दिस साइड, दिस सेक्शन. दिस इज नॉट रेजिस्टिंग अ चेंज इन pH, नॉट अ बफर. इसलिए बोला भाई ग्राफ देखो. As soon as you see the graph, you don't have to worry about anything, guys. ठीक है, दिमाग लगाना ही नहीं है इसमें. If you want to see the math, we can do that as well. देखो 1:1 जब रिएक्ट करेगा, then you have CH3COO Na and you have say 1 mole of this and you have 1 mole of NaOH, right? ये तो बफर है ही नहीं. You've got the salt. You want to do that checklist again? We'll do that checklist again. HA and A minus. Sure, you've got HA, you don't have HA, and you have an extra thing which is bad for you. You have NaOH, you have OH minus ions. That's a very, very strong base. It's going to be a strong base, not a buffer, not a buffer. Absolutely right, Vishal. Good job. Kunwar, Virendra Singh, we have royalty among us. All right, Deepanita, good job. Okay, great, Medico. That's awesome. You have a bio exam. All the best, Medico. All the best with that. Okay, sweet. What about this? HCl or NaCl? मैंने यहाँ मोल रेशियो दिया नहीं है. This is just one of those questions to check if you guys are awake. आप लोग उठे हुए हो? Yes or no? Thank you, Arun. Thank you for that quick answer. That's exactly what I expected. 5 सेकंड में आंसर देने वाला. Okay. What about this? Is this a buffer or not? Okay. Yes, Vishal. Vishal is saying buffer. अरे यार Vishal, नहीं यार ये तो buffer नहीं होगा ना. This is going to be a neutral solution ना. This is just a salt. Strong acid, strong base. Absolute right, Deepanita. Not a buffer. What about this? मैंने ऐड किया HCl और CH3COH. Is this going to be a buffer or not? Vishal is saying no. Okay. 1 for no. Anyone? Any yeses? Manpreet. Good to see you here. Manpreet saying no. Deepanita saying no. Yeah, absolutely right. Why is this not going to be a buffer? I've got HA and I've got a strong acid, boys and girls. I was going to say boss. I don't know why I said boys. Weird. I want to say boys. Yeah. Anyway, boss. Boss is the word. Yeah. HA and SA. Right? So not going to be a buffer. Let's put a no and move on. What about this? अरे यार ये तो सेम चीज आ गई फिर से. नहीं, अच्छा. Dang. This is not a salt. This is salt plus acid. ये मैंने इस वाले का आंसर पहले दिया. खैर ये भी नहीं होगा, right? This is going to be a neutral thing. Since Deepanita is neutral, मुझे लगा neutral है, right? I didn't read this properly. ये neutral नहीं होगा. This is going to be acidic, right? Because I have a NaCl का pH will be 7, but HCl की वजह से वो हो जाएगा neutral. Okay, awesome. Good stuff. अरे yes किसने बोला? अरुण जी. ये तो नहीं होगा ना. NaOH HCl तो neutral हो जाएगा. Yes, विशाल. Absolutely right. सब नहीं, तीनों नहीं है. आपने yes कहीं ऊपर बोल दिया था, इसलिए मैं आपको बोला था वो नहीं. It's okay, दीपान्विता. अरे यार, sorry नहीं बोलना है. Guys, when I take your name and say आपने ये बोला या ये नहीं बोला, it's to acknowledge कि आप ये बोल रहे हैं, not to point out कि आपने गलत किया. I would never do that. Okay. My whole deal is to make sure that you're learning. In this 1 hour, एक बार सीख लिया तो you're never going to forget it. So that's the reason I'm calling your name out. ठीक है. It doesn't matter if you're wrong or right. Keep interacting. That's the goal. Okay. वैसे ही तुम लोग सीखोगे. Question and answers. Okay. Now let's move on to some math. This is useful, etc. So if I have this now, C1, C2 लिखा, I can also take it as X and Y. ये है buffer solution. I have what? My checklist. I have both HA and A minus. है ना? दोनों हैं. These are standard book notation. मैं अपने मन से नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. Open up any good book like Zoomdal or anything, you will say HA, A minus, etc. खैर, और initially H plus नहीं है. At equilibrium क्या होता है? The reaction goes forward theoretically, right? तो ये थोड़ा कम हो जाता है, ये थोड़ा बढ़ जाता है. इसलिए लिखा है C1 into 1 minus alpha, C1 alpha and C1 alpha, C2 remains as is. ऐसे ही मैंने एक तरह लिखा है. अब देखो आप बोलो कि इस तरफ जा सकता है, दोनों तरफ जा सकता है. You can make this expression in both ways, ठीक है? Because buffer is very fascinating. Go this way or that way. It doesn't matter, right? अगर ये फॉरवर्ड जा रहा है तो भाई देखो मैंने क्या ऐड किया है? एसिड या बेस? जल्दी बताओ. अगर ये रिएक्शन फॉरवर्ड जा रहा है, फॉरवर्ड क्यों जाएगा? If I add a strong acid or a strong base to this, I have a feeling if you add an acid, then acid will react with A minus to backward चला जाएगा. So maybe I'm adding a base to this buffer. If I add a base, then this reaction will go forward. क्यों? क्योंकि base will react with this and भाई produce करेगा ये. ठीक है? Will produce this salt. Okay. खैर, little extra information. You do this math and all of this, you get this expression. C1 gets cancelled out, and what you have here is C2 alpha plus C2 alpha into C2 alpha whole square. ये तो बहुत ही छोटा है तो हम लोग इसको हटा ही देते हैं. C2 alpha divided by 1 minus alpha is what you get. So this is very interesting. Here you get alpha to be in terms of Ka by C2, which is very cool because remember, पता नहीं याद है कि नहीं आपको, but last time हमने जब ये सब इतना we did so much of juggling, we got alpha to be under root K by C or something like ऐसा कुछ मिला था ना, याद आ रहा है क्या Ka के टाइम में? When we did Ka, we wrote C alpha square by 1 minus alpha and then बोला भाई alpha बहुत छोटा है तो Ka by C was is equal to alpha square, right? This was for just a weak acid. अब देखो बफर सोल्यूशन में बिल्कुल ही अलग चीज मिल रही है, राइट? बिल्कुल ही अलग चीज मिल रही है, एंड दैट्स इंपॉर्टेंट. फ्रॉम हियर यू जस्ट टेक नेगेटिव लॉग ऑफ बोथ साइड्स एंड यू गेट दिस फंकी फॉर्मूला जो हमारे थंबनेल में भी था. बट डोंट वरी, एज यूजुअल आई एम हियर टू टेल यू हाउ टू डू थिंग्स विदाउट द यूज ऑफ दीस फॉर्मूले. फॉर्मूले है, आपको चाहिए मग कर लो. दिस इज द फॉर्मूला, दिस व्हाई यू मग इट. pH equal to pK plus log of salt by acid. ठीक है, Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, just like that. Exam matters, Vishal. I won't say it doesn't matter. Sure, but उससे ज्यादा है जरूरी process. Okay, if you are studying this properly, you are solving questions day in day out, exam हो जाएगा यार. Marks जो आएंगे देखा जाएगा, भगवान के भरोसे है. You do your bit, which is the process. Be ethical, be moral, and in fact, you guys are going to be doctors, man. So that's like even more important. Process is king. Anyway. Yeah, I get goosebumps every time I think, well, I go back and realize you all going to become doctors. And that's insane. That's really, really respectable. Sure, engineers, all right, but dude, doctors, like, come on, seriously. I'm not just saying this because I'm teaching on this channel, okay? Because we need good doctors, yeah? I have a friend, I'm just taking a sidebar for a minute, who works in this business to supply medical instruments. Very, very huge cyclotrons and not cyclotrons, you know, whatever, those magnet things that give you MRI machines, cancer detecting stuff, you know, all of that. Anyway, so he's very concerned about the state of ethics in all of this. He keeps telling me stories and stuff. So I really, really want you all, whoever's watching this video, to take moral and ethics really seriously because you're going to be the future. And yeah, just a small thing. Anyway, Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Khair, back to this. pH calculation, कैसे निकालोगे? If you have both of them to be equal, A minus equal to HA, then pH will be equal to pKa. ठीक है? A sidebar, an extra thing there. Again, मैं बोल रहा हूँ, I do the derivations for you because NCERT में है. But again, I've studied from a standard book. I have never remembered these equations. I do things from first principles. This is what I'm going to teach you. Because the questions that come are more easy to solve with first principle than mugging these equations. See this. पहला सवाल. The dissociation constant of a weak acid is this. In order to prepare a buffer solution pH equal to 5, salt by acid ratio क्या होना चाहिए? अब try करो. We just call it HH equation. You know, we call it the HH equation. We don't bother saying Henderson-Hasselbalch. Who'll say all that here? HH equation. ठीक है. Yeah, try this out. What do you guys think? Now, how do you start a question like this? मैंने बोला था ना, assume कर लो. या तो reaction forward जाएगा या तो backward जाएगा. We will assume in all our cases that forward जा रहा है. ठीक है? ताकि just for consistency. When I say forward or backward, remember reaction कैसे भी जा सकता है. Buffer is so beautiful that it can go either way. But I will write it like this. ठीक है? This is fixed. This is fixed. What changes, and technically we don't want to change, but what could changes is x. x ही हमको निकालना है. x मतलब कि H plus ion का concentration. अब अगर ये कर लिया तो अब क्या करेंगे? Now you know what to do, right? First principles. K की वैल्यू दी हुई है. K का एक्सप्रेशन लिखते हैं. K का एक्सप्रेशन क्या होगा? X into the concentration of salt divided by the concentration of the acid. That is K. देखो, first principle से हो गया. अब निकालना क्या है? यही तो निकालना है. It's simply going to be equal to Ka by X. और X की वैल्यू भी आपको दी हुई है. In fact, X is 10 power minus 5 ना. pH is 5 मतलब X is 10 power minus 5. That's it. There you go. Vishal, look at that. Lovely. Arun, good job. Good job. जल्दी कर रहे हो तुम लोग and I love it. Now I don't mind you using the equation. अगर आपने equation use की, use the equation. आपको जो comfortable हो आप वो करिए. I firmly believe in that, right? You'll be your best self if you do what you're confident in. Yeah, my job is to give you one or two paths at least, right? In this case, this is one of those beautiful cases where I can give you two paths. What are the two paths? एक तो वो equation, yeah? क्या थी equation? pH equal to pKa plus log of salt by acid. उस तरीके से करो या फिर इस तरीके से करो. उस तरीके से करोगे तो pKa निकालना पड़ेगा, which will be 4 minus 5 is equal to log of salt by acid. ठीक है? log of s by a if I were to write it like this. ठीक है, and you get this to be -1 which is उल्टा हो जाएगा. Now so here is the complication here, right? In this case अगर आपने इक्वेशन उल्टी लिख, मैंने अभी गलती से उल्टी लिख ली ना, the equation is pH equal to pKa plus log of salt by acid. अब मैंने जल्दी में उल्टा लिख लिया. अगर मैं उल्टा लिख लिया, देखो मैं 1:10 में मार्क कर दूंगा. That is the problem with equations. And for गधे students like me, equations mark करना is a bad idea. देखो मैंने गलत लिख दिया इक्वेशन, इसलिए मैं बोला फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल करो. पर अगर if you're a good student, you're great, आपको इक्वेशन पक्का याद है, then you do it with that equation. कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं है. इक्वेशन पे करो तो भी सेम आंसर आएगा. You get 5 is equal to 4 plus log of s by a, और उसमें s by a you get to be equal to 10. That's the answer. Cool. Awesome. Next question. What is H plus in mole per liter of a solution that is 0.2 molar in CFCCONA? ये क्या है? ये है रुको, ये है HA, ये है A minus. ठीक है, और ये है this thing. There is some log something given. Let's see if you need it or not. अगर इक्वेशन यूज करोगे तो मे बी यू विल नीड इट. इफ यू डोंट यूज द इक्वेशन यू मे नॉट नीड इट. ठीक है, लेट्स ट्राई दिस वन. व्हाट डू यू थिंक दोस्तों? इसका क्या जवाब है? You want me to go ahead and solve this or are you trying this out? So in this question, I think we got to do the exact same thing. Exactly same चीज हम लोग कर सकते हैं. Let's write that expression down. Right? HA gives you H plus plus A minus. Same चीज मैं लिख रहा हूं. ये हमको नहीं मालूम है in this case. पिछले वाले में वो हमको मालूम था. We knew X in the last question. In this one we don't know it. So yeah, let's write that expression down. K is going to be X into 0.2 divided by 0.1. यही मैंने यहां पे लिखा है. Right? I'm just saying KA is this. यही मैंने लिखा है. ठीक है, इसको मैंने यहां सब्स्टिट्यूट करके इधर डाला है. हो गया तुम्हारी लाइफ यार सिंपल. राइट? लॉग वॉग की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी. पीएच चाहिए नहीं, H प्लस चाहिए. लॉग की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी. ठीक है, यू गेट x इक्वल टू 9 इंटू 10 पावर क्या होगा 9. हाँ 10 पावर -6. देखो डी. यस विशाल एंड अरुण ऑन फायर. गुड जॉब, एक्सीलेंट मैन, एक्सीलेंट, लविंग दिस. सो बाय द वे, जस्ट योर ओपिनियन. मैं तो अपना ओपिनियन दे रहा हूं कि मेरे लिए ज्यादा आसान है फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल करना. हाउ आर यू गाइस डूइंग इट? आपके लिए क्या आसान है मैं जानना चाहता हूं. व्हाट इज इजियर? इज दिस मेथड इजियर और इज द फॉर्मूला इजियर? टेल मी ऑनेस्टली यार, बिकॉज it's good to know what is on your mind. Student के mind पे क्या है? It's this is one of the unique places where I'm actually talking to students. So it'd be good to get this feedback from you. What is easier? Is the formula easier or is this first principle method? आपको क्या आसान लगता है? Or what are you using to get to these answers? Give me that input, please. Okay. Okay. Cool, Utkarsh. All right. Oh, great, great, Deepanvita. Okay. अगर ये थोड़ा जल्दी लग रहा है ना, इश्यूज, इफ इट सीम लाइक कि आई एम एबल टू डू इट क्विकली, आपको थोड़ा टाइम लग रहा है, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. वो दैट कम्स विद प्रैक्टिस. ठीक है, एंड ऑल्सो द फैक्ट दैट कि मैं पहले ये लिख के आ चुका हूं. राइट? आई हैव रिटन ऑल दिस डाउन बिफोर. आई प्रिपेयर्ड दिस क्लास फॉर यू, सो आई हैव सॉल्व्ड दिस क्वेश्चन नाइसली. अगर आपको थोड़ा टाइम लग रहा है, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. सॉल्व एनसीईआरटी के सारे सवाल, यू विल गेट क्विक विद इट विद प्रैक्टिस. ठीक है, कूल. पूनम, एब्सोल्युटली राइट, डी इज द राइट आंसर. थैंक्स दीपान्विता एंड उत्कर्ष फॉर द इनपुट. ओके, सेम आइडिया. अब आप POH निकाल सकते हो. रिमेंबर, इफ यू डू द फॉर्मूला वे, राइट? एक और कॉम्प्लिकेशन है. कभी कभी स्टूडेंट्स याद करते हैं कि PH इज pKa प्लस लॉग ऑफ S बाई A, और यहां पे भी वो लोग PH लिख देते हैं इज इक्वल टू pKb. बट ये सही नहीं है ना, इट विल बी POH हियर. ठीक है, अगर फॉर्मूला याद कर रहे हो तो ये वाला फॉर्मूला याद करना पड़ेगा. POH इज इक्वल टू pKb प्लस लॉग ऑफ कैटायन ऑफ सॉल्ट बाई बेस. ठीक है, खैर एज ऑलवेज हम लोग फॉर्मूला यूज नहीं करेंगे. देखो अगला सवाल. इन अ बफर सॉल्यूशन कंटेनिंग इक्वल कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ B minus and HB, द Kb वैल्यू इज गिवन. pH ऑफ द बफर सॉल्यूशन क्या होगा? ओके अरुण, इफ इट वर्क्स फॉर यू, इट वर्क्स फॉर यू. गुड स्टफ. हे अरसलन जी, व्हाट्स अप, हाउ यू डूइंग? ट्राई दिस क्वेश्चन आउट. ऑलराइट विशाल, ऑलराइट ऑलराइट ऑलराइट. सो ट्राई दिस आउट. कैसे करेंगे इसको? You want me to solve this for you? We'll do the same thing. We'll write POH over here. And ठीक है, इस तरह से भी लिख सकते हैं. Either BOH or it's either, ये तो हमने उल्टा लिख दिया था. Let's do this. BOH giving you B प्लस प्लस OH माइनस, या तो इस तरीके से कर सकते हो, राइट, या तो फिर दूसरी तरह कर सकते हो where you find out the whole formula thing. If you do it this way, B plus and BOH वाला way, then इसका क्या होगा? What do we have? Equal concentrations of B minus and HB. B minus and HB. अच्छा, अरे नहीं, BOH नहीं है, नहीं नहीं नहीं, ये तो गलत हमने लिखा. That what was written was correct. But how do you do this formula in this case, guys? In this case ये तो BH लग रहा है कि ये तो एसिड है, मुझे लग रहा था बेस था, बट इज एसिड. बट KB दिया है B माइनस का, अब क्या करोगे यार? Answer is A. Okay, Vishal and Priyanshu saying no. Vishal is saying 4, which is D. Priyanshu is saying A. Arun is saying D. ठीक है, देखते हैं. ये तो बेस नहीं है, ये KB B माइनस का दिया हुआ, अब क्या करोगे? Let's do this from first principle and see कि HB का ही हम लोग focus on this. What do we know? We know that HB is an acid. तो हम लोग एसिड का डिसोसिएशन लिख देते हैं. अब ये जो हम लोग को निकल रहा है, which is, देखो इन दोनों की कॉन्सेंट्रेशन सेम है, that's what written down, right? Equal concentration of B minus and HB, मतलब HB concentration is equal to B minus the concentration. That's why I've written them both to be Y. So what you get is XY by Y is equal to some K. I don't know what that K is. Now this K is Ka. Okay, it is not Kb. हमको दिया है Kb की वैल्यू फॉर इट्स कॉन्जुगेट बेस. ये है एसिड डिसोसिएशन क्लियरली, बट कॉन्जुगेट बेस भी हम लोग निकाल सकते हैं. कैसे? Look, K, which is Ka, is going to be equal to Kw by Kb. क्यों? Because this is a conjugate acid base pair. How? See, it differs just by H plus. है ना? ठीक है? So I've got X equal to Ka, but what do I need? I don't need this. मुझे तो और कुछ चीजें चाहिए ना. I have X equal to Ka, but Ka is equal to Kw by Kb. So can I write this down here? I have to get X equal to Ka, which is 10 power minus 14 by 10 power minus 10, which is equal to 10 power minus 4, and then pH निकालो तो हो गया 4. Good job, good job. Sarthak, where are you asking me? Is that C? मैं समझा नहीं Sarthak, I didn't understand your question. Vishal, okay, yes, absolutely, that works as well. Vishal, perfect, that also works. Poonam, good job. Vishal, Deepanvita, excellent work. Priyanshu, don't worry about it. It's a good try. I know आपसे जल्दी में क्या हुआ, right? ये 2010 नीट में पूछा गया सवाल था. जल्दी में कभी कभी गलती हो जाती है, इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ टेक योर टाइम. डोंट वरी अबाउट द स्पीड एट विच वी आर गोइंग. दिस इज अ लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस, राइट? प्रैक्टिस का समय, आप बाद में आराम से प्रैक्टिस करना. दैट इज अ स्पीड थिंग. राइट नाउ इट्स अ लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस. बट थैंक यू फॉर द ऑप्शन, थैंक यू फॉर योर इनपुट्स. ओके, एक और सवाल देखते हैं. A buffer solution is prepared in which the concentration of NH3 is 0.3 molar and the concentration of NH4 plus is 0.2 molar. If the equilibrium constant Kb for NH3 equals this value, what is the pH of this solution? ये थोड़ा भारी लग रहा है भाई. log of 2/3 and all दिया हुआ है. अब ये क्या करोगे यार? log of 2/3. चलो ट्राई करो, ट्राई करो. Nah, don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. Try it out. Give this a shot. This is maybe slightly longer numerical as compared to all the other ones we've done so far. Not saying this to scare you or anything. Try karo. If it gives you any, what do you call it, an impetus to solve this, this is the last question we are going to do. That is this big. इसके बाद चिंदी सवाल ही है, for the lack of a better term. Yeah, easier questions up ahead. Try this one out. Hey Rajat, what's up? Khair, let me walk you through this while you try it out. NH3 in water मतलब भाई बन गया base NH4OH. Okay, this is the first and foremost step. Like, what do you do, right? NH3 concentration is equal to saying NH4OH की concentration. Okay, that's what you've got to identify. Once you do that, उसके बाद तो यार चीजें बहुत सिंपल है. You do NH4OH gives you NH4 plus plus OH minus. दोनों की concentration दी गई है. अब देखो सेम कहानी हो रही है, what you've done before. Now it's very doable. अभी what is this? What is happening here? ये तो Kb है, या बेस डिसोसिएट हो रहा है, तो Kb का एक्सप्रेशन मैंने लिख दिया, this into this divided by this guy right here, which is this. So now I have found out OH minus की concentration. But is that what is asked for? नहीं, पूछा गया है pH. तो OH minus की concentration मुझे कुछ मिल गई, 2.7 and 10 power minus 5. तो इससे तो मैं pH निकाल सकता हूँ. कैसे निकाल सकता हूँ? pH will be 14 minus this. Yes, Vishal, good job, Vishal. Arun, I know what you did. मैं भी यही करने वाला था. थोड़ा गेस कर लेते हैं, 5 से थोड़ा कम होगा ना, तो मतलब 9 से थोड़ा ज्यादा. अब चक्कर ये है, this thank you for giving me the answer. चक्कर ये है ना कि ये वाली चीज जल्दी नहीं कर सकते हो, ये ध्यान से करने वाली चीज है. इफ यू राइट इट लाइक दिस, you write POH is 5 minus log 2.7, pH is 9 plus log 2.7. Then you say कि log मतलब इससे थोड़ा ज्यादा है, 9 से थोड़ा ज्यादा है. अब 9 से थोड़ा ज्यादा दो ऑप्शंस हैं, ठीक है. That's what makes things a little complicated. In easy guess is 9.43 as compared to 0.8 because you know log 2 is 0.3, right? And log 4, sorry, log 5 is 0.7 I think, ऐसा कुछ है. हल्का सा याद आ रहा था ये सब चीजें. डजंट मैटर, ये नीट आजकल नहीं पूछेगा ऐसे सवाल. 2011 में पूछ लिया, आजकल इतने फंकी सवाल नहीं पूछेगा, ठीक है. सो या विशाल, yes विशाल, in this case the formula way may have been easier, but you see if you do this also you'll get to the answer, ठीक है. Either way works. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. There are two ways, you choose whichever you want. My goal is to show you कि दो रास्ते हैं, आपको जो ठीक लगा आप करो, ठीक है. Okay, awesome. What's the use of pH? कुछ बोल रहा था, कोई लोग बोल रहे थे blood में. Absolutely right. Yeah, in biological research, which maybe some of you are going to do, pure science, maybe in ISC or ICER or anywhere else, biological research to maintain pH of whatever culture. You know, you need to grow cells at a particular pH range. Industrial processes में you need to maintain a pH और उसी में reaction best होता है, right? Electroplating, etc., etc. Biological process, absolutely. 7.4 is the pH of blood. Buffer action is because of carbonate and bicarbonate ions, etc., etc., etc. ठीक है, चलो. Let's talk about acid-base titrations now. विशाल, वाह बाप रे, नहीं यार, biology is the one thing that I just haven't done since 10th grade. And to be honest, it's a very funny thing. You know why I didn't do it? क्योंकि I thought कि diagram बनाना पड़ेगा life में, और diagram यार I'm bad at drawing. Honestly, that was how misinformed I was in 10th grade. My mother was a biology teacher, not that it counts. But now man, chemistry करते हैं हम लोग. Yeah, what do you want to ask me? Sorry, Poonam, I didn't catch that. Yeah, acid-base titrations. Let's talk about them. So we've completed the idea of buffers, okay, in detail. Please do all the questions in NCERT and you will ace this concept perfectly. I've given you two ways to do it. The method that's usually in standard textbooks and NCERT में कुछ formula दिए हैं, उससे भी आप कर सकते हैं. Either way, ठीक है, cool. Now what's an acid-base titration? मैंने आपको buffer, मैंने काफी high level चीजें already बता चुका हूँ, but we're going back to the basics right now. Okay. Now when you take an acid and a base, you take known volume in one of them in a flask, conical flask में, and take the other in a burette, and you find the volume for complete neutralization. And this is the whole titration wala business. What you need to do is an indicator. For example, you take an acid. This happens to a weak acid. अब उसमें डाल रहे हो indicator, phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein turns pink in basic medium. This is very beautiful if you've done this titration, right? थोड़ा सा एक ड्रॉप एनएच ऐड करो, तुरंत पिंक कलर आता है, डिसअपियर. तुरंत पिंक कलर आता है, डिसअपियर्स. You gotta keep adding it drop by drop. Khair, we would, like add 5 ml because 5 तो नहीं होता, and then it would immediately become that color. That's not a good color. Okay, I mean, ये हो गया तो मतलब, oh God, you gotta redo that titration, which is what is happening coincidentally. जिफ फिर से चल रहा है. You gotta get that perfect light pink color for titrations to happen. Khair, this brings back amazing memories. But we are focusing on what is that indicator thing? What's happening there, right? Acid-based titrations तो ठीक है. उसका equivalence point क्या होता है? जब stoichiometrically equivalent amounts of acid and base are combined. अब इसका क्या मतलब है? N1V1 equal to N2V2. This concept of normality हम लोग redox reaction में detail में करेंगे. Okay. Or do we do it there? I think we'll touch upon it there. I'll try and figure it out. Okay, अगर करना है कि नहीं. We'll do N factor there anyway. Maybe normality भी हम लोग थोड़ा सा we'll just talk about it. All right. You've done this. That's great, Deepanvita. That's awesome. मजा आता है titration में. Lab में यार, physics lab is so much fun. That optic bench. भाई, I would love that. हम लोग कैंडल से करते थे, and that was the most fun thing to do in school. Physics lab was that n pi 6 pi eta rg, that terminal velocity thing. That was fun. Chemistry lab was all right. It was great. But I was a little scared, to be honest, because these things would just fume. Okay, वो बगल में कोने में पड़ा था, थर्मोकॉल में ग्लास में पड़ा हुआ था, H2SO4 और HCl, उसमें से फ्यूम निकल रहे. Like no bro, I'll go play with light and all. ये नहीं कर रहा हूँ मैं. And then these bio guys, they would dissect frogs. I mean, intense, man. Khair, anyway, yeah, titrations are good. Easiest, I think, things to do in theory. Now, this whole idea of pH calculation जो हम लोग कर रहे हैं at this equivalence point, ये हम लोग कर सकते हैं depending on what is formed at the end. If I have a strong acid and a strong base, then at the end, the pH will be 7. Okay? But if I don't have that And if I have a weak acid and a strong base, matlab weak acid and strong base, then I get a salt. And you see that same salt hydrolysis का idea, ये equation बहुत familiar लगेगी आपको because it is that same equation. And if I get a strong acid and a weak base, then the hydrolysis of this will give you this. Now, I'm writing these formula. I'm averse to formulae, but I've explained this to you, and in fact, मैंने इसको derive भी किया है, although आपके syllabus में नहीं है, I know, NEET में नहीं पूछा जाएगा, but I've also derived this. Check that out in the last couple of sessions. All right, that's great, Devansh, Sirohi ji. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Good that you've been here to revise. काफी हिम्मत है आप में, because people are usually scared of ionic equilibrium and want to stay away from it. You're coming here voluntarily, so that's great. Chemistry is fun. All right. So with that, we've pretty much come to the end of this. Yeah, want to just leave you with one small idea before we get off this session, right? This idea of an indicator. वो phenolphthalein था. That's going to be our focus right now. Now, how do you know that the end point has been achieved? In that whole pH and 7 and all of that, ये main चीज जो उसको दिखाता है उसके बारे में बात की नहीं, and that has to do with ionic equilibrium as well. Got a couple of things, बस नाम दिए हैं आपके बुक में NCERT में, so I've just written the names, formula में कुछ नहीं डाला है. Phenolphthalein and bromothymol blue. Okay, they are common acid-base indicators. Phenolphthalein is used at high pH and bromothymol blue is at a different pH range. Why do they have different pH range? NaOH is good for strong acid and strong base, but it's not good for some of the other things. Why is that? Because they change the color in a particular pH range. Okay. क्यों? क्योंकि the indicators themselves are weak acids or weak bases, और वो खुद ही अपना रंग बदलते हैं depending on pH. इसीलिए तो हमको कलर दिखता है कि देखो pH बदला तो अरे इंडिकेटर का कलर बदला. That's the most amazing thing. So in their ionized and unionized form, विशाल ने या किसी ने पहले बीच में बोला था unionized form. Ionized मतलब A minus, unionized मतलब HA, या फिर POH or B plus. Yeah, same thing. So this is your weak base and this is your weak acid. In case of phenolphthalein specifically, this is how it is. Yeah, this is the acid indicator. So conjugate base बनता है, which is HIN and IN minus, etc. Bas, that's it. Maths is also great. Maths is beautiful. Physics is great. All subjects are great. Science is amazing. Yeah, Poonam, for sure. बैंगलोर आओ, पार्टी कभी भी मिलेगी. सिलेक्शन के बाद तो तुमको पार्टी देनी पड़ेगी पूनम. यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम टू कम एनी टाइम टू बैंगलोर. पार्टी तो है ही. ऑलराइट, कूल. व्हाट डू वी हैव फॉर टुडे? दैट्स इट फॉर टुडे एक्चुअली. यू गाइस हैव एनी डाउट? एज यूजुअल, आयोनिक थोड़ा सा भारी है. Probably the most भारी thing you'll encounter in the whole of chemistry in 11th and 12th. I'm acknowledging this. Electrochem is okay, man, doable, but ionic में लोगों की यार हालत खराब हो जाती है. But we're almost there. Just one more session to go. So solubility बाकी है. Homework questions है, couple of them. Which of these is not a buffer solution? ठीक है, ये वाला सिंपल वाला सवाल है. Just similar to that 1:1 mole ratio, 2:1, etc. ये वाला थोड़ा कैलकुलेशन करना पड़ेगा. फॉर्मूला लगाओ या जैसे चाहो करो. ठीक है, हाँ हम तो पार्टी देंगे for sure. All right, cool. Quick summary of everything we've done so far. Solution of weak acid and salt of its conjugate base. That's an acidic buffer. Okay, if I'm to write down. Basic buffer क्या है? I've got BOH and hold on. I've got the, yeah, that was right, सही था. Plus B, दोनों चीजें हैं. Ion plus the unionized form. The formula for pH or formula for POH for acidic and basic buffers respectively, right? And at equivalence point, if you've got a weak acid and a strong base, then this is the formula you use. I don't want to use formulas, but if you would like to, feel free to do this. ठीक है, this is the same idea hydrolysis. Lastly, indicator का ये वाला expression है, which I've just spoken to you about. All right, awesome. Just one more session to go for Ionic. Tomorrow is Friday. We're going to be doing atomic. Now we're going to be doing PYQs of periodic table tomorrow. Periodic, everyone seems to like to do it. काफी straightforward है, but want to do a couple of interesting ideas. खैर, I'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, अरे 8-8:30 बजे भी तो है PYQ आपका. Biology, right? Have fun. अरे selection हो या no, you are always invited. भाई तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ, come to Bangalore anytime, bro. Party on me. I'm serious. I teach Chem. Ping me. We'll figure it out. All right. Good night, everybody. Amazing Thursday. Amazing session as always. See you. Bye. NCERT करना मत भूलना. That should be my tagline. Yeah. Bye-bye.